Hi, Cala. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for meeting online. I know your schedule is just so all over the place. So I'm sorry that this had to be online, but thank you for being flexible.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay, great. So how have you been since the last time we talked? It's been a week since we met. How is everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's been another really, really hectic week, and I feel like the times where I have been thinking about food, I'm still in that mode of like reach for whatever is closest and will like give me the most like positive brain chemicals. So I feel like I'm still like not in a spot where I'm totally where I totally want to be yet.
Okay. Also, sorry to interrupt you, but I forgot to mention that we do only have 50 minutes today. I just wanted to put that out there. So, getting back to what you just said. So, previously, we talked about setting a goal with like eating more healthy snacks. So, you said that you're still struggling with trying to eat healthy snacks. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think there are times where I'm choosing the healthy snacks, but there's still like a lot of me that just I am almost taking both at the same time.
Okay.
And it I don't know if it's just making me feel like I'm mentally not like reaching my goals in that sort of way, or if it just takes more time for me to like make better choices. But I do feel like I'm now incorporating some of the things we talked about, but still like leaning into those habits of like, I'm so tired. My body just wants like the sweetest foods that I can find.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable. So tell me more about when you're seeing two different snacks. So you're seeing, like, what are the snacks exactly? Tell me more about that.
Like I'm really drawn to eating foods like high fiber bread. I eat a lot of bread. Which is high fiber bread is I guess like more on the list of things that is more like nutrient dense than not.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like eating a lot a lot of just the bread, you know. And then I want to like have a pint of ice cream beside it at the same time.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that answers my question. When it comes to I know that when you're at home, those things might be easier to grab, but what about when you're out and about and like at school or doing anything that has to do with your busy schedule and like on the go? What do those snacks look like also? I'm just trying to get a full-on idea.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I need to incorporate more of the snacks at school because I think that I'm like almost starving myself at school,
Oh
and
no.
that's where I get to the point where I'm so hungry that I will not even allow myself time to, or I'll start preparing the snacks and I will eat like ice cream as I'm preparing the snacks.
Yeah.
But things like I will have like cans of peanuts that I'll kind of like take swigs of throughout the day. But nothing like I don't think it's really balanced and it's not like satiating.
So throughout the day, you have a pretty busy schedule and you're just trying to just eat something just to keep you satisfied in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, just to like help me forget that I'm hungry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, in our last two sessions, I just want to kind of summarize what we went over real quick. In our last two sessions, we went over that circle chart that had all the different circles on it, and you picked possibly eating more healthy snacks and then trying to maybe do some meal prepping on the weekends because I know with your school schedule, you said the weekends are pretty much the only time that you have to meal prep. We talked about some of your favorite foods, like you just said, peanuts, and then bread. And then you talked about some comfort foods being like granola bars and then like chips and salsa with like, or like guacamole, chips, salsa, cheese, anything like that, or peanut butter with like crackers or bread or chips.
Mhm.
And then for dinner, I think we only really talked about like plain pasta with like Parmesan cheese, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, so, has any of those snacks, I know you just talked about bread, but outside of those snacks and food items, have you tried incorporating any new items into your daily routine of snacks and meals?
Yeah, I I tried to incorporate like some potatoes into like my meals because I feel like the satiety factor of potatoes has like added an element to like a yeah, like an element to my meals. And so I've had some like boiled potatoes just like ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which like I think maybe I the prepping for me needs to go like beyond just like having the potatoes ready. I need to like have like the full meal ready. And I don't think I had a lot of experience with meal prepping, so I didn't know like how much I would need to do to like actually get myself to like utilize the technique.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then I also bought some like frozen vegetables. I'm like I and to like bulk up the like pasta and cheese so that now I
Mm-hmm.
have like a pasta sauce that's ready to go.
Okay.
But I do think that like my body is still like I will snack, and then by the time that the food is like warmed up, even like I am just not valuing those foods enough. And I don't know if that's like maybe I'm maybe I need to assess my sleep schedule a little bit too. I don't know.
Okay. What do you mean, just to clarify, what do you mean by you're not valuing the food? What do you mean by that?
Like I like um when I'm hungry, I'll just want to start snacking. And then once while I'm like getting my food, my prepped food like warmed up and
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. So I'm not like holding my appetite like for that food. And then
Okay.
I don't finish the stuff that I meal prepped for myself.
Okay. So you're possibly having a hard time when you are prepping to not eat other foods in the process. So then when you are eating your final meal, you're actually still wanting to eat that final meal. Like you're still hungry for that final meal. Is that correct?
Yeah, like will you repeat what you said one more time?
Of course. I just
I
want to
just
make
get like
sure
so doubled
I'm
up in what I'm
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm understanding it too.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so what I'm hearing is whenever you are prepping these meals or snacks, you get distracted and you're eating other foods while these foods are waiting to be cooked. Like your main dish is waiting to be cooked. You're snacking on other foods. So then when it's time to eat your final meal that you've been prepping, you're not hungry for it anymore.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Okay.
thought that how we discussed like meal prepping, I think I must need to take it further. Like I there's still too much prep involved.
Okay. So, is there any, like in the past, is there any things that you have utilized, like distraction tools or easier, quicker
Hmm,
meal prepping strategies that you've used that have worked for you before that possibly you forgot about?
let's see. I think when I have meal prepped before, or I'm even thinking about like when I'm really hungry, what do I reach for? And it's usually like frozen meals that I can heat up quickly. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to like, and then also the like creating a mess after after a long day, creating like dishes is also something that like I will tell myself that that's not what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Like if I were to be able to just place meals like just in the microwave, um, I think that's even in terms of like thinking about what I've reached for before, that might be
Hmm.
something that I'm like more capable of doing.
Yeah. So you want more easier meals that you can just like heat up real quick.
Yeah, like stuff
Okay.
that maybe I can that will hold for longer amounts of time, or like how do I go about prepping my food so that it like do I just put it in the freezer or I'm
I
not so
mean, yeah. Um, we can talk about different ideas that go into that afterwards. I just wanted to kind of assess any other strategies that you have already had success in.
yeah.
So, if it's okay with you, can I possibly share one resource with you? It's a handout where it has 15 different meals that you can make in 15 minutes. So, we could talk about like meal prepping and freezing stuff after that, but can
Yeah.
I first show you this handout? So it's like quick meals so you don't get distracted maybe in the moment of making these meals and they're just quick and easy. And
Yeah,
then some of them you can take with you to school. Um, but yeah, let me show you this and then we'll talk about other ways to like maybe possibly freeze food or like meal prep and save it for later.
great.
Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen real quick. Can you see my screen?
No, I can't. Not yet.
Oh, weird. Okay, hold on.
Oh, now I can.
What do
Well,
you
let's see.
see? Do you see the
Well, right now it's
15
a green
mils?
box. Let's see if it loads. Oh,
Okay.
yep, I see it.
Okay. So, and I'll also send this over to you in an email too, so you can look at it more in depth later.
Great.
But real quick, do you see anything on here? Do you want me to zoom in or out?
Maybe zoom in a little bit.
Okay. Does that work?
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then tell me if you want me to like go down. So these are just meals that you can make within 15 minutes, more or less. And I know that you like peanut butter, so there's some peanut butter and banana toast on here. I
Yeah.
know you like pasta, so there's some spaghetti on here.
Hmm.
I'll let you take a moment.
Okay, yeah, I see some foods that I think I definitely.
You want me to go down?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I think where were we? We were here. Yeah.
Mhm. Greek bowl. Yeah, I feel like I'm drawn to these bowl types things where you can just throw a bunch of things.
So you tend to like things that you can kind of just throw together real quick and eat it.
Yeah, especially things that like I don't have to bring pots and pans out for, which I
Yeah,
feel like I could
definitely.
do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing that you can do, especially with a lot of these bowls that have to do with like vegetables and stuff, you can possibly prep these vegetables on like another day. So then they're already all chopped and whatnot, and you can just throw them in your bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to talk about any more of these?
Let's see. Mm, I mean, yeah, a lot of them feel like familiar. Like I feel like I incorporate elements of this. Like when I think of my ideal self in like my ideal like sit down, make food and eat, like I relate to a lot of this. So I feel like it's a nice reminder of some of the foods that I can try to incorporate back into like a calmer, what my calmer lifestyle used to incorporate.
Yeah, definitely. So you see yourself utilizing a few of these. That's
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
Great. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen unless you want to go over any more.
No, I'm feeling
Okay.
good.
So I'm just going to stop that real quick. Okay. So now with going over those, is there any other ideas that you think that you want to utilize within those meals that you want to talk about?
Um, Nothing's like totally coming to mind.
Okay. So did you feel pretty positive that you could pretty much utilize a lot of those ideas and do you feel like they will be able to, or let me rephrase that, sorry. After looking at those meals, how do you feel about those ideas and how motivated are you to be able to utilize those meals?
Yeah, I feel like seeing it in just like written format is maybe something that might help me. Like maybe I print that out and like have it on the fridge so that I can so I'm not just like grabbing one or two things and being like, okay, that's enough. Like maybe I like challenge myself to grab like two more items to like put in into my meals.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, great. So you seem like you're able to utilize that. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing was you wanted to talk about how to, those are just like quick meal prep things, but you also wanted to talk about how to utilize food, like you can make it and then possibly freeze it or
Mhm.
meal prep it and save it for later or anything like that. So with that, do you have any ideas that you want to talk about before I talk about any ideas that I have?
Um, well, I am like curious about like how to go about like do I like cook vegetables before I freeze them? I must if I want them to just be like ready to go. So
Hmm.
I think like in terms of like adding nutrients to my food is like really going to be key for me like in terms of putting things in the freezer. Like I want them to be foods that are like nutrient dense foods. So whatever ideas you have.
Okay, so when it comes to vegetables, like you said, you've already been buying frozen vegetables. So I would say I mean you can cook vegetables and then freeze them, but I would buy vegetables that are easily cooked, like quickly cooked and already
Mm,
cut and sliced, like bags of like peas and carrots
mm,
or asparagus, something that you can like quickly steam like in a bag or on the stove. So you're not, it only takes like 3 to 5 minutes to steam them, right?
yeah.
Because I feel like they would be fresher that way if you just use vegetables that are already like pre-chopped, already pre-cut, ready just to throw in the microwave or throw in on like on a pot with some water or even without the water, just cooking them up real quick. They're because those vegetables tend to be already pre-cooked and you just have to
Mhm.
warm them up.
Okay.
Um, so when it comes to vegetables like that, I would just buy them already pre-cooked, pre-cut, stuff like that. In the frozen section, they have a variety of different vegetables. And then they have mixed vegetables that comes with like carrots and peas and all this stuff already in it, kind of like a medley of vegetables.
Great.
And so that way that you can get like a good variety of vegetables within each meal. And then those softer vegetables like the peas and the carrots and stuff like that, those vegetables tend to take a shorter amount of time to cook them. So um, I can also send over like a list of like vegetables that with like their cooking temperatures. So even
Yeah.
if you do want to possibly use fresh vegetables, I can send you like a cooking guide of like which ones from fresh instead of just frozen, how much each thing takes to bake or microwave or steam.
Mm,
Um, and that would be helpful. And then you can look at like, okay, which thing from a fresh vegetable or a raw vegetable, how much or how long can one take to cook and which is going to cook the fastest. So
okay.
that might be helpful too to look at. So I can send that over when we're done here. And then as far as other meal prepping, like you said, weekends was your only days to meal prep.
Mhm.
Um, is there any day at all throughout the week that you could meal prep?
Yeah, I think it may come to like me reevaluating like priorities in that way. Like after I get out of school at 5, usually I'll go from 5 to like 10:30 p.m. at the studio. I'll come
Mhm.
home, like feed the dog, and pretty much that's like and like shove as whatever I can into my mouth before going back.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it does mean that like maybe I just like reevaluate how much time I maybe should set aside. Maybe I should set aside more time for myself.
Well, the only reason I was asking is because some people have found it easier to meal prep at least 2 days a week, and those
Mhm.
days being more spread apart. So, like maybe one of those meal prep days could be on like a Saturday or Sunday, but then one of the other days, and then you could prep food for like on Saturday or Sunday, you could prep food for like 3 or 4 days, but then on like Wednesday, maybe you can prep food for like 2 or 3 more days. So the food just
Yeah.
stays fresher.
Yeah. I wonder
Um,
if maybe I should even like when I'm cooking a meal, like allow myself to have time, just like tell myself like just cook one meal, but then just make that meal larger than it needs to be. Like I wonder if I can like reframe it for myself that way.
yeah. And then also just mixing in, I know that you said that you want to cut down on cook time on some days, but when you're not cooking those or creating those like quick 15-minute meals like I just talked about, those days that you do have time to like meal prep for a few hours, those can be the meals that you're incorporating larger amounts in. Like make
Mm,
like a big pot of the pasta that you like, and
yeah,
then incorporate some vegetables and protein into it. So then whenever you come home the next day, you can just take it out of the freezer or and you can put them in separate Ziploc bags, so separate servings. So you could just take one serving out, or you can put them in individual containers and like Tupperware containers and then just take them out and heat them up as you go.
yeah,
Um, and then maybe Wednesday could be those quicker, like you're meal prepping those quicker 15-minute meals for each day, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like you can prep those quick bowls and prep like 3 bowls
yeah.
for the
Okay.
next day. So that's what I was thinking. Since you have more time on the weekends, you can do longer meal
Yep.
prepping times on those days. And then on like maybe Wednesdays or Thursdays, you can do those quick meal prepping ideas with the bowls. How does
Yeah.
that sound? How do
Yeah,
you
that
feel?
sounds great.
Okay.
I feel yeah, that sounds like something I want to try out this week.
Okay, great. Um, let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, so we talked about in the past what you would do. Let's see. So, is there any new aspects going on in your life lately that, because with the healthy snacking and the meal prepping, is there any new aspects that you want to talk to me about that may have helped managing your nutrition goals?
Like, what do you mean by new aspects?
Like any new schedule changes or any of the new meal prepping ideas that I sent you home last time, has any of those helped with managing this nutrition goal that you have?
Yeah, I think that with the ones that we have already talked about, I think like I didn't go far enough into like having them like ready to go. So I think that's like a mind like I need to change that for this upcoming week. And then like finals and stuff is coming up. So after that I will be able to rest a bit more. And I'm
Mhm.
wondering like what it will look like for me to have more time, maybe like reconnect with like my like ability to be concerned about my nutrition a little bit more too. and like see how I like how do I carry that into the next semester with this like break in between. Like I wonder if I should like keep up this routine of like meal prepping even if I don't need to. Like is that something that might be beneficial to me? I don't totally know. I don't know if you have any insight on that either.
So what I'm hearing is when school gets done, you can possibly focus on this goal a little bit more. It'll be easier for you.
Yeah.
And what does it look like to have a more open schedule? Like, why do you think this is going to be easier for you exactly? Just because you're going to have more time to meal prep, or you can just focus on this goal in general? Tell me more about that.
Like, I think that a lot of times the reasons why I just like won't even consider like nutritional value in my food is just because I'm just so exhausted. Like I'd say
Mhm.
like even when I do have time to cook or I get home and I have like a few more hours than I would normally, I'll just be like more inclined to lay down than I would be to like go cook something up in the kitchen and then do the dishes. So I think like being able to rest will allow me to like better like reach my nutritional goals.
Hmm. So sleep and stress is a big factor here.
Yeah. Yeah, and those comfort foods we talked about are like my body is like you want plain noodles and cheese.
So right now you feel like these comfort foods are going to be something that you're attaching yourself to a little bit more just because of the
Yeah.
stressful environment that you're in right now with school.
Yeah, but I feel like us having these conversations has also like given me that a bit of motivation to try to do a little bit more. Like I don't know if it's like accountability, but also like just like having someone talk to me and like support me through like even just like encouraging me to think a little bit longer or like take a little bit more time to meal prep or like consider my nutrition has been helpful.
Hmm.
So maybe that's yeah, I need to just continue to like give myself that time.
Yeah. So you're finding these sessions to be very helpful just to have someone to kind of bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, totally.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
even just checking in um about like I think I could go I think I, went a lot of the semester just not even just being like, "Oh, I'll think about that later." So it's nice like in the midst of the stress to also have the opportunity to consider things about my health.
Yeah, and that's a common thing to do when you're just on the go nonstop to be like, "Oh, I'll put that off till later. I'll put that off until later."
Yeah.
But um it's completely normal to think that way, so you're not the only one in that boat, you know.
Yeah.
Um so with any new changes that might be coming up, like with the semester ending
Mhm.
and you having a little bit more time to take time for yourself, to sleep more, to manage your stress a little bit easier, what do you see are the possible advantages of completing this goal now?
Um well, I think I'll definitely have more motivation and I'll have more focus on this. And I think also I notice that when I am more well rested and less stressed, then I'm like overall less hungry too. So I feel like some of my issues with not feeling like satiated in my meals, or like not being able to control the snacking before I actually eat the meal, I feel like that may like soothe itself a little bit too.
Yeah.
Just with
So you're pretty much saying that your normal like eating patterns or maybe internal hunger cues might return when you're not
yeah,
under so much stress.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I
That's
feel like I there's part of me that's like, should I keep up our techniques just so that like I have that as like a routine for myself to carry into the next semester, or I'm not totally sure. Maybe I keep it up for a while. I don't.
I think that's all up to you. I think you're on the right track with thinking that these regular sessions are going to be or have been very helpful. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're under a lot of stress or not. The accountability I think is going to help you either
Yeah.
way. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah. Um, Sorry, I'm not trying to put like thoughts in your brain.
No, no. That's basically what I was saying too, so
Um, okay, well, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy to continue these sessions with you, even when school is not in session, or even when you're not under a lot of stress. I feel like having these sessions, regardless of your lifestyle, challenges, it's like you said, it's taking accountability.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see, with like going forward. Um, do you happen to have any new snack ideas or quick meal prepping ideas that you want to try to add in with this goal? Or do you feel
Mm.
pretty confident where you're at right now and you just want to work on these?
You mean these as in what are
Like
you
the main goal of like healthy snacking,
mm.
meal prepping,
Yeah.
the long meal prepping on the weekends, and then Wednesday doing like the shorter
Oh, yeah.
15-minute meal prepping. Is there anything that you would like to possibly add to this, or do you think that would be a little bit more overwhelming?
Yeah, I think this is feeling like, especially for this last push, like I feel like these small changes have been the things that I've thought that I think it's getting incrementally. I'm finding incremental success, so I think the small changes are enough.
So going forward, just for to think about for the next session, is there any other changes that you possibly want to think about?
Yeah, I mean there's part of me that like going into the summer, like I do feel like as I've been stressed and just eating as much as I can, like I have like gained some weight that I have not that I did not have before the semester started. So, and I don't know if that's just going to like naturally work itself out or if that's something I need to be intentional about.
So you're feeling that during this semester you possibly gained some weight because you were under a lot of stress, which led to unhealthy eating
Yeah,
patterns.
yeah.
And so tell me more about that with the semester change or with the semester ending. Do you think that I know that we already talked about like possibly your internal hunger cues getting back
Hmm.
on track and having more time to meal prep and whatnot. How do you feel about that affecting your weight gain?
Like I wonder if I will have to be like almost like mathematical about like I'll implement those changes and like the like better nutrition in my life, but I wonder if I'm going to have to be like more mathematical to actually like calculate the amount of food that I'm eating in order to like get me back to where I was, or I don't know if that's where I need to be, if or if that's just um like where I want to be. I don't know.
So when you say mathematically, are you talking about maybe like an intake of calories
Yeah, yeah.
or like
Like calorie counting.
balancing? Okay.
Yeah, I've done like calorie logging before. So, and I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if me not being able to stay sustain my weight during the semester is just because of the like significant stress or if it's just like I was not at a weight that was sustainable. I would like to think that it was just me not making healthy choices. I don't know if that I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
Yeah. Um, so what I'm hearing you say is maybe you want a more balanced eating structure. to level out your calories or your macro and micronutrients. So, like maybe having a more like balanced with your macros, which is your protein, carbs, and fats.
Hmm.
Maybe having like a more balanced meal with that to equal out the calories, or maybe some more like nutrient dense foods. So instead of eating like less refined or processed or like ready to go foods, you want something that's a little bit more um, maybe calorically balanced with your macros. Is
Yeah, if
that
that's
maybe what you're saying?
yeah, I mean, if that's the route that like is is how I should go about it. Like I in the past I have like done like calorie logging and I've found that like when I do that I it seems like I have a pretty like balanced when but that's me being like incredibly intentional like or and just like very self-aware. So if like I don't know how if there is like a better approach to like the balance, like what kind of balance, what sort of amounts I should be eating of what, if that's like the route that I should take with trying to like shed the few pounds that I gained while in school this semester.
Yeah. So you found these apps to be helpful, or were they harmful to your eating behaviors?
I think they're helpful in terms of me like my body changing. But and I didn't find I think like when I was younger, I had a harder time with like disordered eating. Like I if I was younger me, I probably would say that yeah, that it's not the route that I should take. But at this point in my life, I do have like a healthy understanding of how not to push my body in a way that is just not going to be like good for it. So um I think maybe I just like don't have the mental capacity during the semester. I feel like it's not this is me like also trying to process. Like I don't think it's I don't think it's bad for me, but I do think that it's hard to keep up with when I already have so much going on.
So you just want help like balancing it all out, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then there was part of me that was like, since I'm tracking my food and I can click on the button that tells you like what the macros are,
Mm-hmm.
um, I almost like don't trust that I am on track when I'm not tracking it,
Yeah.
which might just be a personality trait. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
So you do feel like you can use these tools efficiently now in a more helpful way and not a harmful way.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Is there any other tools that you've tried to use in that aspect?
You mean in terms of like apps, calorie tracking apps and
Yeah, anything to try to kind of track your macro and micronutrients to assure that you're getting like a balanced distribution with throughout your meals throughout the day.
That's the only technique that I'm really aware of. I don't know
Okay.
much more.
Um, I do have a list of like your snacks and whatnot,
Hmm.
and that you stated that you wanted because I don't want to start too big because of course
Yeah.
you said that you wanted to keep it simple and keep
Hmm.
focusing on your main goals. Um, but so let's start small with just the snacks. But with your snacks, I actually made up a few ideas for you, including more nutrient dense. So in case you asked for more ideas, I had those
Great.
for you. And it's kind of just a list of all the snack ideas and possibly more ideas, incorporating the snacks that you did like, and then possibly like how much protein or carbs or fat or anything are in them.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just kind of looking ahead of things that might help you. So if it's not too much, we can go over that now, or we
Yeah.
can wait till the next session. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm curious.
Okay,
So let's go over it.
great. Let me share my screen just one more time. Let's see. Let me zoom in real quick. Okay. Can you see my screen?
It's loading. Almost there. Yes, I can see it.
So let me know if you want me to zoom in at all.
I think it looks good.
Okay. So with
Mm,
this is involving just peanut butter and maybe some nutrient dense upgrades to add with your peanut butter. So for example, this one includes chia seeds. So this one can help you get a little bit more protein in.
mhm.
And then this one, of course, has hemp seeds, flax seeds. There is such things as like high protein breads, which is kind of like along the same lines as your high fiber bread. Um, and then if we go down here, these are kind of, you talked about how you really like cheese and crackers and stuff.
Mm,
So this one includes a little bit more nuts, maybe some tortillas. So I was trying to branch out of the bread and the crackers. So maybe, I'm not sure if you like tortillas, but um, these would include more high fiber. Um, and then going down to like the guacamole. So these have, guacamole and black bean chips, so you can get a little bit more of that protein and some fat in there. Um, and then if you go down to snacks with like salsa, you can also add black beans or maybe some cottage cheese, add some more protein in there, some more chickpeas. So I'm not sure if you're seeing like a trend, but it's
yeah, yeah,
involving more like lentils, seeds, beans, which I feel like you mentioned it's not really a part of your diet with like you said something about like eating nuts and like peanut butter, but I was trying to think along those lines of like things that different forms of those food items that you can incorporate with the other ones.
totally.
So is there anything that you want me to kind of go over again with?
Yeah, like I really like how each of these foods you're starting with like the exact foods that are like my favorite and comfort snacks. So that's cool to see. Um and I like that it's written out that like the different grams um of everything there. Is there this will be a good list for me to reference too. Is there like when I'm feeling a certain way, just in terms of me like knowing how to navigate this, when I'm feeling like I w- want to like how should I go about choosing which one of these to do if I'm trying to be like intentional about like either like managing my weight or like if I'm feeling extra hungry or something like that, like which balance would you recommend me choose?
So I would say to have it evenly distributed.
Mm,
So for example, see how this one is a high protein. Um, and then this one also has high fat, high carbs. So like
mhm.
maybe this could be something that you are eating when you know that you're not going to eat for like a
Okay.
couple of hours and you need more of like a filling snack. Maybe try to shoot for these more filling snacks that have more protein, have higher carbs, higher fats to
Okay, yeah.
hold you over until you eat again, but also keep them evenly distributed.
Mm,
So, for example, if you're eating possibly this one right in here that has 15 grams, 25 grams of carbs, but then you're also eating this one that has 28 carbs, that might be too high of amounts, right? So maybe
mm,
have two of these larger 15 protein, 15 grams of protein, 25 grams of carbs, but then for the next one, depending on when your next meal is, maybe you can go down to like one that has only 9 grams of protein, right? Or let's see, some of these, let's go up here. Maybe this one like a 6 gram of protein and 18 grams of carbs. So
okay.
I would say not to have so many higher amounts of these because they are
Mm,
snacks and you're still going to be eating meals that might have a high amounts of protein and carbs in them. Um, and it all depends on your physical activity too. Um, if you're being physical enough and you need to and you're burning energy, right? You need to refill your body
Yeah.
to keep you energized throughout the day. So also keep that in mind. I'm not trying to
Hmm.
like limit your calories um or up your calories. I think that all depends on how you're feeling too. If you feel like I am feeling very low f fuel right now, I am not going to eat for a really long time, then maybe you should choose one of these snacks that have a higher protein or a higher carb or a higher fat ratio to them.
Okay.
Um, I think it all depends on you looking ahead to the next day or the next few days and being like, okay, am I going to be very physically active? Am I going to
Hmm.
be in class nonstop? Because I know you mentioned like some of your classes run till 5, but then sometimes they end at 2. So maybe on those like longer, heavier days, you can plan for these like higher nutrient more nutrient dense snacks, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Did that help at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, is there anything else that you want to possibly utilize within these snacks? And I can add it to the list and send this over to you.
Like what, like foods that I would see or
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you kind of got the entire list of things that I mentioned. I appreciate it.
So you're happy with what this list has already?
Yeah, I can totally like pick up a few of these extra things from the grocery store too.
Okay,
And just like
great.
putting them together, I think is like seeing this in a list of like things that like how I should pair snacks to make it
Mm-hmm.
more, yeah, which is nice instead of just me like taking like a swig of it's funny because I'll just eat the peanuts out of the can, you know.
Yeah.
That's so instead of just a mouthful of peanuts, I can be a little bit more intentional with it.
Yeah. Um, so is there anything that you want to talk about further this list before I stop sharing?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So I'll also send this over to you
Great.
at the end of our session. I don't want to like put any other ideas in your head because I don't want to overwhelm you with too much, but is there anything else that you possibly wanted to talk about with these goals that you set originally?
I'm feeling like pretty good about this upcoming week and trying out and seeing how I'm able to like actually utilize more of um these tips and handouts and that sort of thing.
Okay. So we are running low on time, so I just want to like kind of close everything out real quick and ask you just a few more questions just
Cool.
to make sure that we're on the right track for the next session, okay?
Great.
Um, so first off, I just want to possibly look ahead until we meet again. What barriers do you think you see possibly getting in the way?
Like of me not being able to implement these things.
And possibly utilize like any of the new resources that I'm going to send over to you, any barriers at all.
Mm, I mean, just I think just like the tiredness is just something that I'm going to have to like anticipate a little bit more, but I'm feeling more like capable of like valuing my energy toward this now that we're kind of chatting about it more and I'm being more intentional with it even just talking to you.
So, talking each time is helping you more and more to feel motivated to continue this goal in the long run.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like putting time toward myself now, so I think I'll be able to like slowly keep adding a few minutes or like telling myself like I can be a little tired, but this is something that's like valuable enough.
I'm glad that this is helpful in motivating you, and I'm glad that these visits have been helping you each week. Um, so, going forward, pretty much let's say, like on a scale of like 1 to 10, right?
Mhm.
0 not being very motivated, 10 being very motivated. Where do you feel like you're on that scale to continue working on this goal and possibly implementing these new snacks and meal prepping ideas that I gave you today?
Yeah, right now I'm like at a 9. Like I'm ready to like go print out these handouts and have them like visually available for me. Um I mean, my tiredest moments probably lower on the scale, but I don't think that's totally like relative to the question right now.
So 9 is a pretty big number.
Yeah,
Why not a 10?
it could be a 10. I feel like I'm trying not to like get overzealous and like like I don't know, just I don't want to let myself down too much if it's not gonna be
Yeah,
like
of course.
exactly how I want it to be.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm gonna start slow. I'm feeling
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
motivated.
I'm gonna be humble.
Yeah. Um, so like I said, 9 is a pretty big number. Why not a lower number? Like,
Mm. I mean, I think I am just like a person that is motivated by like talking about my goals. Like I think like right now I'm ready to like make my grocery list. Like I think like talking about and staying on top of the goals is like the main motivation, and I feel like if we weren't talking about it, like it would just be lower. Like I could make these goals in my brain and not say anything to anyone, and I think I would be much lower on the list.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're really motivated. I feel
Yeah,
like
thank
next
you.
time we talk, you're gonna have to make it like a 9.2 or a
I
9.5.
know, I know. I've already shot so high.
Or hey, maybe we can move the scale to like 20 and we can do it from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just real quick, we talked about again, or we previously talked about in previous sessions, we reminded ourselves of um, different goals that we may have set with different foods and your busy schedule. And then we went over new resources today with possibly doing meal prepping, like big meal prepping to where we can freeze this or we can put it in the refrigerator in separate containers. On
Mhm.
Sundays, doing like a full meal prep. And then we talked about Wednesday possibly being using those 15-minute meal prepping recipes or ideas with the bowls and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we went into talking about how to utilize snack ideas with being more nutrient dense
Yeah.
and balancing those macro and micronutrients. So with that being said, is there anything else that you possibly want to focus on next time or mention
Mm,
anymore today?
I feel like I feel like I've got a lot of like resources, and I want to like maybe just follow up on how much I'm able to like truly implement,
Mm-hmm.
maybe compare my rating to the start of our next meeting and see like how far like I was able to get. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like confident and happy with where we're at with setting goals.
Yeah, you sound confident. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, so same time next week works.
Sounds good.
Okay, hopefully we can be in person next time, but I know it's near the end of the final or near the end of the semester and you have finals, so
Yeah,
just let me
thank
know
you.
whatever works for you, okay?
Okay, great. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good day. Good luck
You
this
too.
week.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.